Hello, and welcome to episode 16 of the Spicy Homemaker podcast. My name is Melissa, and today is March 19th, 2016. It's Saturday, and this is a podcast about knitting and creative living. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's so nice to spend some time with you. I have some things to talk to you about. We're going to cover some things that I've been doing lately, some community news that's going on in our crafting world. I'm going to talk about a finished object that I have, a couple works in progress, and just some chit chat at the end. And one of the things that I want to say right off the bat is hello and thank you to the Gateway Knitters. That is a local knitting group in my area. They're in St. Louis, and I just spent my first knitting night. They're having a retreat this weekend. I got to spend the day with them on Friday, which was really a lot of fun. I had a great time. Thank you so much, ladies, for welcoming me and just making me feel right at home, and had a great time. It was so nice to knit with some people in person, and thank you, Heather, for introducing me to everybody, and also Jenny is another person I spent a lot of time talking to. There were quite a few, Kathy and Mary, and I know I'm forgetting people, but I just wanted to say hello and thank you. So yeah, there's let's see, where do I want to start? A lot of things. There's a lot of things. I got some notes. Okay, let's just start with one more thank you since we're already there. I want to say a big thank you to Brittany of the Sip and Stitch podcast. She is my co-host of the Knitting Games, and I just have to tell you, there's absolutely no way that I could do this without her. The Knitting Games is a pretty big event, we'll say. It's a 3-month thing. If you haven't heard, we've been talking about it over the last couple episodes. It is from March, April, and to the end of May. And I'll be talking about that a little bit more later on, but Brittany is doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. She's mostly in charge of the cow that we're having, the knit along portion of it. She's doing a lot of stuff, but one of the tougher parts of this is the finished objects thread, which resides in her Ravelry group, the Sip and Stitch Ravelry group. She's doing all the points, and I'm doing nothing with that. That is all Brittany, and I really appreciate that. I'm so glad she's doing that. I've been listening to the podcast. You know, we've got a lot that we watch, and some people have been talking about it. Pin, hook, and needles, ladies, you guys have been so great mentioning us on every podcast. Thank you so much. You guys, love you. Love you guys. And if you guys like shawls, you should really check them out. They knit a ton of shawls, and they do a lot of charity knitting too. So going back to Brittany, she's just, Brittany and I came up with this together. We definitely came up with this. This was a joint effort. But what I was saying is that I listened to some podcasts, and there's been just a couple, and nobody, by no stretch of the imagination, has anybody done this on purpose, and I know that. It's an honest oversight. But, you know, I've heard a couple of people say that Melissa's Knitting Games, and it's not Melissa's Knitting Games. It's Melissa and Brittany's Knitting Games. And I have a chatter thread for the cow. She has a chatter thread for the cow, but the FO thread resides in hers. If there's any questions you have about any of this, feel free to ask us. Go into the Ravelry group. There's threads there that explain so much of it. For the knit along portion of it, you can basically knit anything that you want, and points will be assigned to it. And Brittany will do all that for you. And she has how she assigns the points, but she assigns the actual points for you. So just go in there and post a photo in the FO thread using the guidelines that she has in the very first entry. Very easy, okay? So thank you, Brittany. I'm so glad we're doing this together, and you're awesome. I want to talk about a fun thing that kind of got started off the cuff. I was in Instagram, and I think it was, yes, I know it was Vicky of Sweet Leaps podcast. She had posted a picture, and some discussion got started between some other podcasters, and we were discussing how When you post a podcast in YouTube, it gives you 3 thumbnails that you can choose. And they just randomly pull it. And what a thumbnail is, if you're not familiar, is the little picture you see. If I were to pause my video right now, that screen, that frozen shot right there, that's a thumbnail. So usually most of us will post in Instagram and we'll have that little thumbnail picture of us along with, episode 16, Spicy Homemaker Podcast. And we'll post that on Instagram and say, I just uploaded episode 16, and that's what you'll see, that little snapshot in YouTube often. Not everybody uses them. They'll do a custom thumbnail, some people will. Sometimes you'll just see the title slide. I've done that a couple times. Or you could just pick your own random shot and post it. Regardless, when you see it in YouTube, what we see when we're uploading, the 3 shots that they choose, typically speaking, they're a little rough. They can really pull some unfortunate freeze frames, we'll say. Look at my face right now. I'm very expressive, and I have paused myself while editing and just been like, wow, that's a very unfortunate look. So what we've decided to do, we got to talking about it, and we are coming up with, we have a hashtag April Fool thumbnail. Hashtag April Fool's thumbnail. And I will put that on the screen for sure. But anyone who uploads a podcast around April Fool's Day, doesn't have to be April Fool's Day, doesn't even have to be 2 days after, anywhere like within a week or so time frame of April Fool's Day, choose a crazy one. Do your own. Find a find a funny one. I can pause myself and just pause it, frame it, make it your custom thumbnail, and use the hashtag on Instagram. Viewers, check it out as we go along. I'm sure it's going to be a total hoot. Self-deprecating humor, I'm a fan of it. So there's already a ton of people who are willing to join in the madness. So I'm putting that out there now. There's no way I am going to send out a message to every single podcaster. It's just, that takes so much effort. And it's not that you guys aren't worth it. I just don't have that kind of time to do that for this. So I'm hoping the word spreads naturally throughout the community. And also I know there's quite a few that's already signed up for this and said they're going to do it. If you know anybody, say it. You want to talk about it on your podcast, you want to send out your own messages. I've sent out a few of my own. Feel free. This is going to be fun. Let's just have fun poking fun at ourselves, right? So let's see what else. Okay, Patty Joy, the designer of the Fish Lips Kiss Heal pattern. She is battling stage 3 cancer. Many podcasters have discussed this, talked about it, and a lot of people have donated patterns to other people to raise funds for Patty Joy. She has had, people have been asking for updates, and they've been asking other ways they can contribute money. I don't know a whole lot about this. I don't know her personally. I know she has a Ravelry group. She does have a thread that she updates occasionally on how she's doing. The last I heard, she had 5 surgeries, and she's doing relatively okay. She was out of Ravelry for quite a while, and she's starting to show, she's showing activity now. Listening to other people who might be a little closer to the situation and have spoken to her, here's what I know. Other than the pattern, I had no idea any other way you could get money to her should you choose to do so. There was a group of people in our community who were getting ready to do a fundraiser for her, and they contacted her, and what she told them is, no, please don't. Apparently, our force of knitters and this support has been so great that her husband, for the first time, has been able to pull money out of her Ravelry account to help with the very huge medical expenses. She was overwhelmed by the support that you guys have shown her in purchasing the pattern, gifting the pattern. It's a $1 pattern, and they were able to pull funds from Ravelry to help pay for their bills. That is fantastic. That is phenomenal, and that makes me proud to be a part of our community. So thank you guys. That is the only update that I have on this, and I wanted to pass that along in case anybody was wondering. Okay, coupon codes. I want to get those out to you guys right now too. I have 2 coupon codes. One that is ending April 1st. It's by Bags by Awesome Granny, Darlene. She is the creator of Bags by Awesome Granny. Comfort 15. Anybody who uses Comfort 15 till April 1st gets 15% off of in her shop. Use that. It's great. That's a great coupon. I have been talking about the one that I did the most thorough review on was this bag, and I've talked about this several times. I have a couple of her bags, but this bag in particular is the one I use the most because it's all canvas. It's very practical for my life, and I love vintage maps. So I had spoken about how I got chocolate on this and I had to scrub it really good, and the print never came off. There was no fading. Well, I guess I didn't think that was a thorough enough review, because when I was getting out of my van one day and getting all my stuff out of it and trying to get kids out of it, I was holding a cup of coffee and it spilled all over the bag. All over. Not a spot, not a drip. I mean, all over the bag. So, yeah, I had to wash it. I ran it under cold water in the sink, and I used, come to think of it, this is probably not really a smart move, but I used dish soap and I scrubbed with a clean cloth, once again, very vigorously over the entire bag, and just washed it out in the kitchen sink and dried it. It got wrinkly, of course, because I was squeezing it and really rough handling it. And I did iron it afterwards because it was wrinkled. But look at it. You can't see that there was coffee anywhere on this. It all came out. It all looks great. It looks fantastic. It still looks like new. So, yeah, I guess if you're a project bag maker and you want to find out if your stuff is sturdy, I guess just tell me to use your bag for a month and I will be able to give you a very thorough review without even trying. But I can totally vouch for a Bags by Awesome Granny. Comfort 15, 15% off until April 1st. Thank you, Darlene, for making a bag that suits my lifestyle very, very well. The other one is from Sally of Yarn Friendly. That's the name of her store, Yarn Friendly on Etsy. Bags by Awesome Granny is also on Etsy. Both of these shops on Etsy. She is Yarn Friendly too, Sally is, on Ravelry. And she donated a bag to us for the knitting games, which will be handed out at some point. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to use this for because I really like this bag. I'll probably pair it with some yarn or something else. This will be going out with something. And it's a little retro kitty bag, aqua colored. She's got a little zipper pull here. And the fabric inside, I don't know if it's canvas or sturdy. If it's not canvas, it's a really heavy duty sturdy cotton. This is a firm, what's the word I'm looking for? A very structured bag. It's not squishy. I mean, you could fold it no problem, but it stands up on its own. It's I like it. I don't mind soft squishy bags at all, but I tend to go towards these kind. Just personal preference. So what I will say about Sally's bags, I have one of my own, and then I have this one. Her bags are very affordable, to the point that I think if some people went in her shop, they may think that because of her prices that maybe it's not well made. It's very well made. I mean, it's very, very well. You can just, yeah, this is a great bag, and I highly recommend looking at this. She has some great fabrics. She also has stitch markers. Her coupon code is 10% off for the entire duration of the knitting games, which is till May 31st. And it is Knitting Games 2016. So thank you so much, Sally, for that. Check her out, guys, and get you something fun. That is, I think I'm going to stop there with knitting community news. I think, yeah, I'm looking over here at my notes. I have them written down. And I've already recorded this whole episode once. But I think what I'm going to do is Yeah, I'm gonna put the knitting games after the knitting. We're gonna go jump right into our knitting right now. So the first finished object I have one finished object. And it is, did I forget it? Nope, there it is, good. The Yowza Weigh It Shawl number 3 by Susan B. Anderson. It's a paid for pattern, and Susan created these patterns specifically for this yarn. It's Miss Babs' Yowza yarn. And Miss Babs, if you've never used her yarn, this is her worsted weight. And there's approximately 560 yards is what this says. It's 100% superwash merino. And Miss Babs is known for generous skeins. So if this is 560 yards, it's probably more like 575, 580, at least 565. She always gives more yarn than what she states. So this is a big juicy skein of yarn. And Susan makes these patterns with the intent that you use one skein of yarn, and the only thing that you need to do this is a scale to know where you are. You don't have to count anything. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. If you never have done a Susan B. Anderson pattern, I highly recommend them. They're very, very good. And her patterns are just solid. The biggest tip in here that I got, it's paid for pattern, but this is not like I'm giving away anything about the actual pattern. But I would recommend this tip she gives in there, and that is because it's a garter stitch shawl. And yeah, let me put a picture in to show you, because this is a gift. It's already been sent away. She recommends putting a progress keeper on the front side of the shawl so you know where the increases are supposed to go. That sounds kind of, to me, I should say, it sounded very, I don't know, kind of like, really? Do I really need that? Which is crazy because she's Susan B. Anderson, and why am I questioning her? If she gave a tip like that, there's got to be a reason, right? Well, yeah, I found out about 10 rows in why, because I had already lost track of which side was which. And yeah, there's a reason for it. It makes it easy so you really don't have to think about it. That's what this is for. This is the equivalent, this shawl can be the equivalent of a vanilla sock. It's very easy to take anywhere. Yeah, I really enjoyed knitting this. I used, the colorway was Funny Papers, and in the picture you saw that it was had lots of reds in it. This skein, I've had 2 other skeins. One skein I had more blacks in it. This one has more blues in it. I mean, there's just a lot going on in these skeins of yarn, but I'm looking at different shades of blue, green, yellow, white, red. Is there even like a black and a gray, and there's just a lot going on. And I liked using this yarn because with a garter stitch pattern, I like having some sort of interest in it. And the yarn was what was interesting for me in this pattern because there's just so many colors going on. The other thing I wanted to talk about with this is that because there was so much red, I was curious as to how it would, if it would bleed when I when I soaked it to block. And there was very reds and pinks, they can bleed. Anyone who's used Madeline Tosh knows that. I mean, I'll never buy red or pink yarn from Madeline Tosh ever again because it bleeds so bad. And I've heard so many other people talk about the same thing. Like never again. Beautiful yarn, but that much bleeding is just, unless you're knitting something entirely in that colorway and you wash it with nothing else, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I was curious about Miss Babs. I did soak it, and because there's whites in here. If you'll see right here, like there's just some pops of white, not much, and you can see it in the picture. Of the shawl, it bled very, very, very little. It did a little bit, but not much. It did not ruin the shawl at all. It did give a little bit of the whites, weren't quite as white after soaking it. But, I mean, the reds and pinks I've had in any yarn, they bleed slightly at least. But, like, that's the best case scenario that I've experienced. If anybody's ever done a yarn that has not bled at all with reds or pinks, let me know. I'm curious. I don't want to talk about, like, soft shades of pink. I'm talking, your reds and your darks. But no, I was very pleased with it. It did not affect the other colors. It turned out, I think, very nicely. So I would definitely knit with Miss Babs yarn again. I liked it a lot, and I want to get some other colorways of hers because this is all I bought. I bought like 3 skeins of this at Rhinebeck one year, and I'm guessing I thought I was going to make a sweater with it. I don't know. But I think I might do another one of her Way It shawls because she has 4 shawl patterns in this collection, and I think I want to do one more. So that is my FO. Let's talk about the whips. I have 2 whips this week, and they are, let's see, we'll talk about my bubblegum socks by Emily of the Arctic Knitting Podcast. So Emily is fantastic. I love her podcast. She's so talented. She shows some phenomenal knitting on her show. If you haven't seen her, you want to check her out. But this pattern's fairly new for her. I'm trying to get my yarn all unwound. And I gifted this to a bunch of people. It was my first viewers challenge for the knitting games, and you guys were great. I gifted, I don't know, probably 10 patterns, maybe a little bit more, I think. I think I did gift more than that. And someone finished their socks, I think, in 2 to 3 days and got a project bag and a skein of yarn for their prize. But this is where mine is, and we saw that thread open. And so we're still knitting our bubblegum socks, still put anything in there. Anybody who's doing them, feel free to join us. I'm still on my first socks, so bad. I finally sat down. That was the only part. This part wasn't hard, the lace part that she has. I knit my cuff a little bit longer, but I was gonna sit down and do my fish lips kiss heel. I've never done it, so I needed a night where I could just sit down and do this. And I did. I'm halfway through. I'm not completely through. It's not hard, but I had only so much time that night. I've been carving out. I had 2 nights where I carved out a little bit of time to do just the heel. I'm almost done with the heel, and I'm so excited to get these finished. But this is with Gabby from Once Upon a Corgi. It's her yarn. And it's this beautiful ice blue colorway. I think it's called Winter Storm. And it has stellina. Just, oh, I love this. I love this. Is that coming out good? Let me see. Yeah, that's really nice. So I'm excited to finish these. I know that once one sock gets done, I'm really going to want to power through that second one because I need more hand knit socks. Oh my goodness. All right, I got one more whip, but we're going to stop right there for just a second because, excuse me, I got the best thing in the mail today, and I have to show you right now. So I did a swap with Mina from the Knitting Expat. She has the Expat swap that she coordinated. Huge swap. The idea behind the swap was that you pair up with someone who's not in your area. Didn't have to be international, but mine happened to be in, which I kind of wanted mine to be international. But you could be like East Coast, West Coast of the United States. But you give local, you create a package of your local yarn, and you swap with someone from another area. So you're getting yarn from another location. Well, Mina included, I'll show you what the package was, but she included this fabulous gift in there. You've got to see this. Check it out. Look at these. These are from her January Sockathon with Marsha from Twitch and Stitch podcast. Look at these. Look, Mina socks. I love them. And this kind of hurts, but I love them. I love them. Thank you, Mina. Love those socks. I love them. Here, look. This probably isn't as painful. Oh, that's the bottom of my foot. That's probably not so nice. Here we go. How about that? Look. Oh, yeah. That's a good stretch right there. She gave me a pair of the socks that she knit. You guys know, in January, her and Marsha had a sock smackdown, sockathon, whatever you want to call it. Who can knit the most socks in January? And they both knit 35 pairs of socks. And I have a pair. I love it because knitting for knitters is so freaking awesome to begin with. I have a pair of hand knit socks from somebody else. I've never had hand knit socks that were made from someone else. I know these weren't knit when she knit them specifically for me, but she gave me a pair of her hand knit socks. And gosh, I just haven't taken them off since. I put them on right away. And I love them, and I just thank you, Mina. I love it, This makes me do the happy dance. Okay, getting back to my whips. One more whip. Okay. Let's talk about this. I've been working on this quite a bit and it will be finished. It better be finished very soon. This is also a gift. I'm on the last piece of it. It's called Dre's Shawl and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's a garter stitch thing too. A garter stitch pattern, I should say. And here's what I've got so far. Now, it's funny. The first time I recorded this, I saw this too. Look how obvious that is. Hold on. Okay, you see that? You see that line? Let me show you. Right there. Now, when I look at it, I mean, I know where it is, but I don't know if it's the colors or what. Boy, that really shows up there. And what happened here? So this shawl, you knit using 2 skeins of yarn, 2 different colors, and I am using hedgehog fibers and teacup. Look at that. That's such a fun. I know a lot of podcasters have been showing this colorway too. It's got some browns and blues and these shots of vibrant hot pink in there, but it's, mostly cream. So, and then the other color is Socks That Rock in English Garden color. And you can't really see a whole lot. I don't think it's really being displayed at its best while it's striping the teacup. But the end piece here is going to be a strip of the teacup colorway. So that's when it's really going to show up here. I am very much enjoying this. It starts out with only 3 garter stitches up at the top, and you just keep increasing every other row. And you do, I think it's 2 rows of each. Yeah, it's 2 rows of each color. So what you saw when I held it up is that row right there is, I accidentally did 2 extra rows. So it's just a little thicker than the rest. I think it's okay. It doesn't bother me. I mean, when I look at it on camera, it looks a lot worse than what I think than it looks like in person. And I know it wouldn't bother me, so I hope it doesn't bother the recipient. But garter stitch shawl pattern, you really don't even need, there's really not any, you don't have any counting to do. They have some numbers to give you some guidelines for where you should stop. But I'm enjoying it. It's very squishy and stretchy. Let's see. Let me show you how this looks like when I stretch it up. Not really a lot to say. I mean, just a garter stitch shawl. There's no garter tab even. It's very, very easy. I like the increase. Actually, I'm doing the increase kind of wrong. I didn't realize until after I did it. But I'm okay with how it's turning out, so I'm going to keep doing it. It's not like you can do any increase you want, really, but it kind of gives you an eyelet which you can't see until I block it. But I love it. I can't wait to finish it and send that out. So that's my whips. Let's see, what else do I have? That is it for knitting projects. But I do want to talk to you guys about the knitting games. I dropped my ball of yarn. Sorry. Sorry, why? I saw a comment in a thread not too long ago by someone who said it kind of annoyed them when podcasters apologize all the time. And I thought about that. I was like, yeah, sometimes there are people who apologize too much. And I thought, wait a second, I think I'm one of them. Oh, goodness. All right. So that is the knitting. Let's go back. I want to talk about a video that I said I was going to provide you guys, which I still am, but clearly over the time limit that I originally wanted to do. I am going to do a video on how to make a nitty natty and how to make minis. And also another video on what makes a good swap package. I did that in an episode, probably about 3 or 4 episodes back, and it's called How to Make a Great Swap Package, and it's at the end. But I want to do a separate little special episodes on both of those items and how to make minis. So that's coming, and just stay tuned. It's taking me a little bit longer than I originally thought. This week has been crazy busy, more than normal. I just finished up, ended my time with a company that I've worked with for over 10 years this Friday, and starting with a new company on Monday. There's a lot that goes into tying up loose ends with an old company and then starting all the new paperwork for a new company. Then we had daylight savings time, which I don't know about you guys, but this has been the worst daylight savings time for us ever. We had such a hard time adjusting this week. It was insanity. Nobody wanted to get up. My daughter Ruby, who's 2, if you're new, the first day, Monday, I had to bribe her with candy to get her out of bed for the morning. I mean, I was like, can't someone bribe me with candy to get out of bed? I'd so be for that. But yeah, so it's just been, if you've sent me a message lately or asked me a question I haven't responded, please ask me again. I have a feeling I've haven't talked to a couple people purely on accident. There's things in my head like, oh, I'm going to get back to that. And I think I've missed a few. So please send me a message back if you haven't heard anything, because I like to respond to each and every person. Okay, enough of that. Let's talk about the knitting games. Okay, first of all, on the knitting games, we have, if you're new to this, the knitting games, go check out Brittany Sip and Stitch podcast and my Ravelry group, Spicy Homemaker. We have all kinds of information in there. There's a knitting games rule thread. Check it out. Many components to this. We have an FO or a knit along and crochet along that basically you knit or crochet anything you want. There are like 95% of what you knit will apply to this FO thread. It's in Brittany's group, the Sip and Stitch podcast. Go in there, post it, she'll assign points. You'll see her rules and the guidelines, and that's all you really got to do. Don't think about this, just go over there, post it. We have some awesome prizes we're going to give out for that. I have a chatter thread and she has a chatter thread in her group. And just post anything you're working on, and we just pull randomly for prizes at any given time. I've already given away 2 patterns this week, or last week. It was a Helen Stewart pattern and a Mina Phillip. Any Mina Phillip or any Helen Stewart pattern. I told the ladies who won they could choose, and they did. And I'm getting ready to pull for some more prizes. In fact, I would like to know who my DPN knitters are, or who uses DPNs, because I've got some phenomenal, fantastic DPN holders from Bags by Awesome Granny. Look at that. And then this is with that fabric of my favorite bag. I like this. I have my own set right here, my own in a Notions pouch. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to open a thread up called Where's My DPN Users? Because I just want to hear from you guys. I know not everybody uses DPNs, so I don't want to gift these to somebody who doesn't use DPNs. So I'll put something in there, be on the lookout for it. But also, look what we've got. Darlene, once again, Bags by Awesome Granny, gave us a bunch of Notions bags and project bags to gift to you guys for the knitting games. So I have this and this. This is a Notions pouch with a DPN holder. I think this should go together to somebody. So if you're a DPN person, I think this is going to go out right away in a thread. Okay? And then I also have some project bags. This is a medium-sized project bag. You could easily fit 2 balls of yarn in this, if not 3. And look at that fun fabric. Gosh, this is so colorful and fun. Just reminds me of summertime, which I think everyone is so ready for now. And then there's this really cute, sweet cream and gray and pink. It has monkeys and tigers and elephants on it. Super cute, with this leaf pattern on the inside. There's that. And so yeah, this is just part of the prizes that have been donated for the knitting games. So that's going to go out in a variety of ways, but this is going to go out right now. I want to get this out right away. I do. I think I'm posting a thread. But then I think what I'm also going to do in the chatter thread, go ahead and just post in there anywhere you want. I'm a DPN user, and I will start giving some of these out too. Okay? Look at that. Alrighty then, so more. Oh, did I? Yeah, I don't think I talked about this. A couple things. Brittany will, if you see things that she's been really good about updating the FO thread. If you see her a little, she's not probably updating it this week because she's going to be out of town for a week. So don't worry, when she gets back, she will update that thread. No one's ignoring anybody. So I want to let you guys know about that. And I owe you guys a huge apology. The Powerball. So part of this knitting games is a Powerball thing that we're going to do each month. So for March, I started out the first question, and you never know how it's going, who's going to give the question. So that's why it's important to subscribe to me and Brittany both if you want to participate fully in the knitting games. So I gave a question with the intent that the first one should be kind of challenging, and then as they go along, they get easier and easier. But I made it impossible, and I'm really sorry because I did not mean to make it impossible. And so I gave a question, and I said an hour after I post this from YouTube, the time frame, there's a deadline that you have to answer it by. You message us on Ravelry. Well, my question was asked, I don't know, around 55 minutes into my podcast. So unless you watched it right away, you would have had 5 minutes to answer the question. And I don't think anybody would have gotten it. It was where my friend Amy was from. She didn't have her information. People answered it later, like many hours later, because I told her it was okay to put her where she was from back out there because she took it off of her profile. But she was from Rhinebeck, New York. And I did not mean to do that. I am so sorry. That will not be that challenging next time. Okay, I will, yeah, we're going to keep the questions to knitting trivia. We're going to try to incorporate a lot of podcasting trivia, so it'll be about something else. Like, so Brittany's question, when she asked the next Powerball question, was what are Gabby's from Once Upon a Corgi's, what were her dogs' names, their full names? And Sally from Yarn Friendly got that. So she got, because nobody got the first question. The first question, the prize was, it's just like the Powerball. Any skein of Zia Wool's yarn. I guess it's not just like the Powerball because that's not money, but it's yarn. So then if nobody got that, then we roll into the second question, which Brittany did. And she offered a project bag. Well, Sally got it at that point. So she got the yarn and the project bag. So say nobody answered that second question, then we'd ask a third question. So it just keeps building. There's a prize for each question. And whenever the question gets answered in the amount of time that was allotted, that's when we stop. So next Powerball will be sometime next month. So that was great. Thank you for the participation on that. And I want to talk about our podcaster challenge. First podcasters challenge was this month, and it was great. It was fantastic. It was the Swants challenge. Now, if you haven't heard of Swants, I hadn't until just recently. They're created by Stephen West. And he basically takes a thrift store sweater and you try them on like a pair of pants. Now you do make, you tailor them to fit as pants. There's fabric you've got to cut away and you have to do some sewing. So Gabby from Once Upon a Corgi won. And if you saw the photos, you'll clearly know why. Hers look store-bought because they look like sweater leggings is what they look like. And they do sell those in stores, not from thrift store sweaters. They actually make sweater leggings. And hers looked just like that. She did knit, no, nobody knit their Swants. But she did do a couple test runs on her pants and Swants, excuse me. And she was given some tips that, following, she had a pattern line in hers and she said that really helped. I don't know why I procrastinated, but I did. And I had 3 different sweaters and it ended up because of all the sewing it took and the alterations it took and trying to pin your own. There's a lot of fabric up in the midsection area and pinning all that area by yourself is not an easy task. So I ended up having to go with my test pair, which was so disappointing because the pair that I was working on that I couldn't get done in time was a really fun fabric of 80s looking kind of thing with this electric blue and black. And then I had another sweater I was going to use that had purple with some sparkles. I mean, they were going to be pretty loud because I thought, yeah, I'm not an excellent seamstress. Like Gabby is a very good seamstress. So I knew that I had to go for fun and creative, but I didn't get to. So you got boring and crappy basically out of me. So I'm going to pause right here and put them on so you can see what those look like. All right. I did a quick wardrobe change from the waist down. So get prepared to see my very homely Swants. Are you ready? Oop, make sure I don't lose anything here. All right, so let's talk about what's going on here. So, whoops, hold on here. Sorry, guys. See, there I go, apologizing. All right, this side didn't turn out too bad. There's a little bit of a something going on here. These are, so this would have been like the neckline area that you remove fabric from. This is where part of the sleeves were. And there's these very thick seams here that do not match up. Then I've got this really cool side dart here, and I'm using that very loosely, of course, sarcastically, but look at this. There's actually, well, hold on, I'm trying to show you guys this. There's like a hole in here too, I didn't even realize. Yep, check that out. And then, look at this. Yep, okay. I can't believe I'm doing this, but oh well. I have no shame. These are butt darts. Yep, they sure are. Can you see them? And then right here, there's like a growth. It's a big, thick thing of fabric. You wouldn't even believe what that looked like before I sewed it up. It was atrocious. These are awful, but they are so comfortable. These are my very ugly Swants. Gabby's, she could actually wear out and about in public and look perfectly fine. But those are Swants. Yes. Someone asked me if I would do the Swants dance. I think had I had my 80s Swants, because even if they were hideous, they were pretty fun. These are kind of just ho-hum colors and they don't really do much for me, but they're super comfortable. I'd wear them to bed. But if I had my 80s ones, I would have totally done a Swants dance for you guys, okay? I would have. I have no shame. I would have done that. But these don't really make me feel like dancing. Mina socks, they make me want to do the happy dance, but these Swants, not so much. But I'll wear these. I'll wear these as pajamas. I'll wear these to bed. They are comfortable and they are very warm. So, yeah, we posted a voting thread in, oh, goodness gracious. So the people who participated in this were Allie and Abby from the Get Lit and Knit podcast, and Gabby from Once Upon a Corgi, then Brittany Sip and Stitch, who's co-hosting the knitting games with me, and then I did my pair. We were, I don't want to say selective, but we invited people to this particular challenge. We knew that not everybody would be up for this kind of adventure, but we really clearly knew, me and Brittany did, exactly who we wanted to ask when we did this. It wasn't even hard. And it was just so fun talking with everybody as we were sewing these up and talking about the challenges we had. So it was a lot of fun. I want to talk about the next Podcasters Challenge that's coming up in April. It's gotten larger. Each of these, we have one for May already too, and they're getting bigger and bigger. And I think I'm going to have to, we're going to have to kind of close these up because, so for instance, this one in April that we're doing is a dyeing challenge. And what we're going to do, it's me and Brittany, we're participating in all the challenges. We're going to be doing this. There's a total of 7 podcasters in this next challenge. And they get to choose, the people who are participating, 2 characters from the Hunger Games as their inspiration. So let's just say I chose Katniss and Hey Mitch. What I have to do is create 4 custom colorways using those 2 characters for 4 mini skeins. So I will do 2 colorways for each character. What we're going to do is we're going to post a voting thread. We'll post 2 voting threads, just like we did with Swants. I think I'll probably keep that theme up. What's hard about this is that I want to make it easy for you guys, and as the challenges are growing in numbers, I have to keep it still simple so everyone can kind of keep up and follow. So if there's ever a question about anything, go to mine or Brittany's group or ask us directly. We usually have things posted and they're very easy to find an answer to a question. And we will let you know in plenty of time before it happens. There will be no questions when it comes, I promise. But what happens is we're going to do those 4 mini skeins each. Deanna from Skeins in School podcast is definitely having a thread in her group whenever the time comes. And you guys get to do the same thing as you did with Swants, where you vote for your favorite. When it's done, the podcaster who wins the challenge gets a huge gift to give out, like a prize pack to give out to their viewers. So this has grown to 7 podcasters. That's 28 minis. The original thought was we would give all the minis to the grand prize. We still may do that, or we may divide them in 2. Because it's gotten bigger, I think we'll at least have 2 large prize packs for the 2 winners, because I think it just makes sense. And then for everybody else, anybody who participates in these podcasters challenge, each podcaster, even though they didn't win, will have a participant gift that they will give to their viewers. So you guys win. So we need you guys to vote whenever these become available. All right. So that should be fun. I'm getting very excited. I have not started my dyeing yet, but I have plans. I got my characters of inspiration, and I'm very much ready. The challenge in May, I don't even know how many podcasters are in that anymore. It's pretty big. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I think I'm going to keep that a little bit close hold until we get a little closer, but stay tuned. So that is the knitting games. Oh, for April, we've had 2 viewers challenge. We're going to do viewers challenge. We're having podcaster challenge and viewers challenge. There will be podcasters challenges or viewers challenges as well. So for instance, I did the bubblegum socks for my first viewers challenge. I gifted the pattern, and the first person who finished the socks got a project bag and a skein of yarn. That was great. Brittany just did one, and I think it was with socks as well. I can't remember. Yes, it was with socks. And yeah, that was really fast. That got done. And then April, we'll have 2 more. I'll have a viewers challenge, and she'll have a viewers challenge. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. I do know, I haven't figured out how. Mina has gifted us a pattern, her new brioche shawl, which is so pretty. I love that thing. I'm not really a brioche person. I've never really, I don't, most of the stuff I see just doesn't appeal to me. But when I saw Mina's shawl before she gifted this to us, or before she's giving us a pattern to give to you guys, before any of that, I saw that, and that was the first pattern I ever saw that I wanted to knit brioche in. And maybe it's just yarn color choices, because I know a lot of patterns are like that for me. I'll see a pattern, I really don't like it, but then when I see it with certain colors of yarn, I really enjoy it. So maybe that's just what it is. But now I really do want to learn brioche. And Dag from Zia Wools created these 2 colorways, and Amy, my friend from the last podcast, that was my guest star. Hi, Amy. She has generously gifted us this yarn. And this is Dune. And this is, what color is this? Old Flame and Dune. But it's meant for the brioche pattern. So what I would really like to give this to somebody along with the pattern, with the intent that you're going to make it with this yarn. So I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. I don't know. Stay tuned, because I want someone to actually knit this. And I want to knit the pattern. I'm thinking about it. I just got this yarn not that long ago. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Dag. It's gorgeous. Okay. And I believe that is all for the knitting games. Stay tuned. April rolls around, more's coming at you. Lots of opportunities to win things. And yeah, post in the chatter thread. Just get in there. There's not a lot of, the activity's kind of limited at this point. Sally from Yarn Friendly, she was able to win 2 different challenges and prizes because, well, she's paying attention. She's getting in there. So the good thing about when people are at the lower end of numbers right now, it makes it really easy for people to win prizes. So if you're one of the faithful viewers, get in there. We want you guys to win. We want to recognize you and give you some wonderful yarny goodness and some fibery stuff and some project bags and just, yeah, have fun. So I am going to go collect my acquisitions and share those with you. Okay, let's talk about mail. I saw this on Mrs. Brown's Bags. Jody from Mrs. Brown's Bag and the Grocery Girls. Great podcast. This is, I think she calls it the Red Barn Door bag. I saw it when she first created it. Can't remember, I think I saw it on Instagram and I loved it. This is so me in so many ways. And she's got this like really soft tan with white creamy polka dots on it, on the inside. And I finally bought one. First Mrs. Brown's Bag. And I love it. Unfortunately, unfortunately, I like these zipper pulls too. It's like a suede leathery bit here that she ties. Really nice. Well, I really don't mean to do this. Like I truly don't. But when I took it to the retreat this past Friday, these are people I never met. It was the first knitting group locally that I've been with in a long time. We had one very, very local a couple years ago, and they're no longer, the yarn store closed. But I spilled my whole cup of tea in my lap and all over my new project bag, brand new project bag. And so I have to clean this because thankfully it's dark colored. So that already is working in its favor, but I have to wash this. So instead of just doing what I did last time and doing it all on my own, I'm going to actually ask Jody what she recommends because, yeah, I'm a mess, soaked in tea. So there's that. Got that. Love the bag. Just got to clean it now. Jody was also very, very gracious to, I'm dropping all kinds of stuff, donate a medium-sized bag of the same fabric. So this is for you guys. I'm going to give this away. And I had this delicious little maple candy here in my bag. It is so good. I'm guessing it's one of them little maple candies that they talk about. It's so good. I mean, I came this close. I'm not gonna lie, this close to opening it and eating it. But I'm not. I didn't take it. You see it, it's right here. There's some cute little progress keepers. There's a little skein of yarn in here for this. So you got like a, this is a stitch marker actually. Stitch marker, you got a piece of candy, you got a little knitting, small pouch bag. Yeah, Jody, thank you. That was so nice and unexpected. So I really liked getting that and seeing it. Okay, this is stuff that I bought. Or stuff that I got, I should say. This fell down. I'm gonna grab it. Okay, so I have, let's start here. Jinx Yarns. I've knit with her stuff before, but this is in her, I believe it's called, Lantern Festival. Now, Kristen from the Yarngasm had knit a pair of socks with this. And these are not colors I would gravitate towards. I like them, but I just probably would not pick this up. But when I saw Kristen's socks and how they knit up, because Jinx does, Laura from Jinx Yarns and the Dyer's Notebook podcast does a lot of self-striping. And she has other yarns out there, and she's been putting a lot of them in her shop that are not self-striping. And I never knit with those yarns. And when I saw Kristen's socks using Lantern Festival, and this was about a year ago at least, I loved how they looked. So I bought this for you guys for a prize. I really did. But I can't. And you guys know me. I usually give you all kinds of, I usually have no problem giving you guys things that I love. But I don't know why. I just can't. I think because it's one of those yarns that I've wanted for a really long time, months. And sometimes those feelings will fade with time, and never did with this colorway. And then when I saw her post it a few weeks ago, There were about 3 skeins, I think, at least in their shop. And yeah, it's the feeling just never faded. It's not like the feeling lessened for this particular yarn. So I'm keeping it. It's mine. It's mine. Okay. Ancient Arts yarn. I heard about this yarn from the Grocery Girls. And Tracy, I think, knit something with this recently. And then Jilly from the Knitting Broomstick also has some that she just showed off. This is Moussaka in the Big Squeeze Bulky Superwash Merino. It's like this really rich, deep purple. And I already know the pattern, and I don't know why I didn't write it down. There's these cable mittens that I want to knit with this. Chunky, bulky yarn is usually a fast knit. I've never knit cables before. That's on my list of goals this year. I think these would be fantastic. So that is, I actually bought this skein of yarn with a plan. There's that. Okay, I also have these. These are DPNs, and it's a set of them. Marbles, Knitter's Pride, DPNs. I love DPNs, and I have tons for socks. But I also use these. These actually, there's I think it's the 4 millimeters I'm going to be using for another pair of gloves, fingerless mitts that I have. I've already bought the yarn for as well. So I'm really anxious just because I love DPNs and I love the cubics. I'm starting to get more fun DPNs. I like bamboo needles, fine. I've never tried carbons in the DPNs. I like their circulars. I don't gravitate towards their DPNs, and I don't know why. I don't have a good excuse. I guess because I love my bamboo just fine. I do like the cubics. Those are a little bit more interesting and fun. But how fun are these? So I am really curious to try these out and see what they're like. I will let you know. All right. I think that's it for just like what I got myself. Okay, I've got a lot of stuff here that I'm going to try to go through. Oh, no. This is from Shannon of the Yarn at Home Mom. And I joined her Disney sock club of the 3-month sock club. And oh gosh, I should be getting my hedgehog fibers soon too. But this is the second colorway that she has produced for the Disney Club. And the first one I gave away, and it was a Lady and the Tramp inspired one. It was really cute. This one's called Coronation Day, and she used Elsa Frozen. She did a different inspiration on this one. She said she wanted to do a slightly different theme, because usually when you think of Elsa and Frozen, you think of the blue and the white. So it's called Coronation Day, and I saw the movie, but I don't remember what that dress looked like. But I'm guessing there's some similarities here. So this, I don't think I'm going to be able to give this away, guys. I think this might be my selfish... Might be having a selfish moment here. I think I might, because I have given away some things that I really love, but I just don't want to this time. I'm still giving you guys things I love, but there's some of it I'm keeping some of it. I'm keeping this. I didn't get to keep my first installment. I'm keeping this. This is mine. I didn't get the sock club just to give you guys. I gave it to you guys originally because the first one, because this is getting kind of expensive. I'm getting a lot of donations now, which is really helping out. But Amber from the Yarn Junkie mentioned in one of her podcasts that I don't mind doing it. I love doing this. But something like the knitting games that we really want to spoil you guys and give lots of prizes. I mean, we buy a lot of the stuff. And then there's shipping, which I have a whole line in my budget for shipping now. If I ever become president, okay, I'm putting this out here now. This presidential election, a lot of people are having some issues. So if you want to write somebody in, you can write me in. Melissa, Spicy Homemaker. Here is my pledge to you. 1, I'm abolishing daylight savings time. It's stupid. I hate it. And babies and kids do not follow it. 2, shipping costs. We're having flat rates for everybody around the world. Just flat rates. None of this... I'm going to Canada and it's going to cost me $15 million to send a skein of yarn. I'm not doing that anymore. That is my promise to you as president, okay? Vote for Spicy Homemaker. All right. So anyways, I'm a dork. Let's talk about the rest of the stuff here. Okay, there were some gifts and there were some swaps. Didn't even talk about Bohemia Fibers. But this is Bohemia Fibers. Amy from Bohemia Fibers was my indie dyer of the month. I'll be starting that again, but it's been a little busy right now, and we're wrapping up with that. And she did the swaps, the mini skein swap, where we each gave a photo of inspiration or a painting, and she created a custom mini skein or a custom skein of yarn based on that photo. We voted on our favorite ones. They were all busted into minis. This has been talked about a million times. If you need to know more about it, go in my thread. It was really cool, a lot of fun. But Eric of Sticks Plus Twine won this the very last swap we had. He did Starry Night from Van Gogh. It turned out really, really nice. And Amy did this great spin. I'm hoping I'm inserting 2 pictures here. So she showed how the first time she did this, someone else asked her to do this very same painting. And she said that after she did that and she looked at it even more closely on another picture or painting, I don't know how she said it, she noticed there was actually some burgundy or some red in there in some spots that she missed the first time. But she included it in Eric's skein of yarn. And look at it, I mean, it's amazing. It does. She was saying how much more it makes the yarn pop and the colors pop, and it does. It looks fantastic. So congratulations, Eric. He gets a full skein of his custom colorway. And Sweet Holly, who is a friend of mine on Ravelry, she has been such a great supporter of the podcast for so long, and she had Amy do up a skein of my custom color, La Dolce Vita, which means the sweet life in Italian, in her Bohemian alpaca silk cashmere base. 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere yarn. It's 437 yards of fingering weight, 100 grams, 3-ply yarn. Oh. This is so soft and pretty. Holly, thank you so much. This was so sweet. And I've got to come up with just the right project for this. I'm knitting socks. No, that's not true. I'm knitting something with my skein. Or am I? Have I? I don't think I've knit anything with La Dolce Vita. That's strange. Well, anyways, this is going to go in something. I'm thinking a shawl right off the bat, but I don't know. I love it. It's so soft. Amy's yarns, if you ever went to bohemiafibers.com, you really should. Her yarns are so affordable. So affordable. And she's a genius. There has been so much praise surrounding what she does, and rightfully so. Everybody, 110% across the board, has been very, very happy with the products she produces. So we were doing sock yarn for our swap, but she has luxury base. Like I just named this. This was, the Bohemian alpaca silk cashmere. Very affordable on there. You really, really need to check it out. So that's it, especially if you're on a budget. That's one of Amy's things, she said, is that she really wants people to be able to knit with great yarn without having to, some of the yarn, depending on the budget you're on, that it can get really pricey really quick, and it's not affordable for everybody. I think Amy's, if you fall into that category, you would really want to check out her yarn because she is very, very, very reasonable. I can't stress it enough. Check it out. And it's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. And she has colorways that you can pick, so you don't have to do custom colorways with her. So check that out. Dag gave me her newest colorway. She sent me a great box. I'm not showing, I've got minis in there and all kinds of sweet gifts from Dag. I love Dag. We and her just had a virtual knitting night the other night. It was so great because I've always said how I don't have a knitting group, and I finally went to one this Friday, but I didn't. So she's like, do you want to Skype and have a knitting night? Well, we did FaceTime. And I was like, yeah. So we had the best time. And we were over an hour, I think. Got to meet her kids. I mean, it was great. It was like a knitting night. I loved it. It was so much fun. Thank you, Dag. I just loved it. This is her new colorway, Dreamer. And Dag just put out, so she was my very first indie dyer of the month. And Fire and Ice is the colorway that I've always loved by her. I love all her colors, really. I mean, and I really do mean that. She has such beautiful colors. But she just started a new line of semi-solids. Gorgeous, gorgeous. This is a tonal yarn for sure. Well, no, this is variegated. But it has like these lavenders, purples, these, oh my gosh, I don't even think I can describe this well. So there's like a very soft kind of light grass green going on in here. Then there's like this little, almost a little bit more of an earthier green here. Then you got these light blues into like almost like an aqua with these beautiful shades of lavender. This is gorgeous. Dreamer is what she's calling this, brand new colorway. She has given this to me to gift to you guys. Yeah, I want to keep this too, but she told me this was a gift, so I will give this to you guys. I will. But I think I might be buying some soon too. I really need some more Zia wools soon. But yeah, you know what? I'll always be buying Dag's yarn, so it doesn't matter. It really just doesn't matter. So that will be a prize soon. Okay, let me talk about Allie and Abby from Get Lit Knit Podcast. Hello, girls. Love them. We did a swap, and it was so much fun. I loved putting a package together for them. You know, they're grown women, clearly. But I felt like I was putting together like a package. Oh, this sounds so bad. Please don't take this the wrong way, girls. And I'm even calling you girls. Ladies, you know, I call myself a girl. Like my little sister, you know, I had so much fun putting together a package for them because they're, you know, going to school, and I wanted to put some little extra things in there. I just had a lot of fun. But they have given me, there was more to this package than what I'm showing you, but I want to show you the minis. And I'm not going to say what all these are because, yeah, there's a lot to do, or a lot more to show, but I just want to show them. They're pretty. Cute little card there. Thank you, ladies. I loved this swap. I've been drinking some of the tea, and it's phenomenal. Love it. Okay. The next one I want to show is, I had some surprises, a lot of surprises this week, that things were not even, I wasn't expecting. Colette, who was Woolly Features on, and I messed this up, I can't even blame this one on Ruby, who is Woolly Features on Ravelry, and she lives in France. She has a blog that I've talked about before called Woolly Features. Oh, this is sad. She had this great little presentation, and I don't know how it came out, but it did. Ah, darn it. Oh, I think I put them back in. But look at that. I am a fan of balls for minis because mini skeins are cute and all, but they still have to go into balls. Now, full disclosure, I give mini skeins to everybody else, but I think I might change that up because I really appreciate having them in balls like this. And she came up with a great way, I think there's even more in here, of displaying them. Then she gave me this skein of, yeah, that's what I thought, Abstract Cats yarn. And I think I'm going to try to get a skein of this. Now this yarn is not available outside. I know it's not available to the US. It's in Europe. I believe it's in Scotland or Ireland. I would have to recheck that. This is 100% superwash BFL. But the reason I want to start showcasing some of these yarns, and because having had to ship things to other countries now, I realize how pricey it gets. So, and we have yarn in the US that doesn't ship outside of the United States. So I want to find some of these places that stay within Europe or their countries and get them. Colette and I've already talked about how I'm going to buy some and have it mailed to her, and she's going to mail it to me, and try it out and let you guys know. And if it's, you know, she gives this very high recommendation. The colors are beautiful, so she's already used it, and she's someone I talk to and trust, and so I'm quite certain that this is great yarn. So I'm going to get some too, but that's something I'm going to start looking for at some point. Do a indie dyer that's not readily available in the United States. So stay tuned for that. Colette, thank you so much. This was so sweet of you. and so unexpected. You guys, just a lot of happy mail this week. Speaking of unexpected, I also had a package given to me by Dariana. Dariana is in Ireland, and she sent me some great stuff for prizes from the Knitting I Love podcast, who, I was just watching her today, and this is terrible, I don't know her name. Yeah, I can see her clear as day. She's a lot of fun. She has a lot of short episodes too, so I highly recommend checking her out. She's Polish, living in Ireland. Pretty cool. But she does these like knitting coasters here, and they have little needle gauges in them, and then she's got these little tags that says handmade that you can sew into stuff. Really fun. And I saw Mina, she had some of these too, because where are they at? She was showing some things that were made by her, but I love these. I think these are so cute and pretty. So, Barbara from Knitting I Love. Sweet, thank you, Dariana. You just saved me. But this is so kind of her. I mean, this was a package I wasn't expecting. It just showed up. And, these little, okay, I should have opened this sooner. I'm gonna open this one. This was from, she told me. I believe this person's from Ireland that did this. These little notebooks. And I have one that I'm going to put in a prize packet. I am a big fan of little notebooks and for things I need to remember and ideas. So there's those. And I just, thank you. I think there's been candy or food in almost all the packages. And if there ever is, they're way gone already. Okay, just gone. I usually consume those pretty quickly. Okay. Let's go to, what is this? Who is this from? Darn it, did I do it again? No, come on. These are from Katrina, Cat's Kettle. She does dye yarn from time to time and posts in her Etsy shop. She has the Yarn 30 podcast, and she just posted a new episode. She's been out of the loop for a while. She has a great podcast. She is super talented. She's one of those people that just knits sweaters and garments just without a pattern. Just creates it in her head. She doesn't write it down either, but she does all kinds of stuff that's just really interesting and fun, and she's hilarious. She doesn't think that she's funny, but she is so funny. And she can sing. Watch her last podcast. I even asked her, I had to send her a message right away. Is that really your voice? And she said it is. Watch it and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So thank you, Katrina. And thank you for winding them into little balls. The other thing, okay. Gosh, yes. Sarah from Naughty Gnome. A couple things I want to say about this. First of all, if you're a podcaster, you're always sending things out and you need cards. So I always buy like not generic cards, but I like to buy some cards and then kind of decorate them. This is so simple and brilliant. I love it, Sarah. It's just a plain white card, but she used washi tape to decorate the front. How clever and how simple is that? That is just, I was very impressed and I like that. I might be doing that soon. We did a fairly large mini skein swap. Look at these. Just look at this. I mean, oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. And I got a little progress keeper of a skein of yarn. There's those. She has a shop too, Naughty Gnome. She does yarn and she does bags, and her podcasts have a lot of good knitting too. She does things like sweaters. I mean, the people who knit more intricate things and garments really have me thinking and about what I'm knitting. I want to step up my game in that. I want some sweaters in my life. I want some stuff that I made for me. So I get inspired by people like Sarah. And there's some of those. And this, oh gosh, this is, the tag fell off, but this rich blue I love. She has them all marked. This one too, I was wondering what this is. That one must have fell off. Lammy Toes? Kitten's Choice? Look at that. How fun is that speckly yarn? But Sarah, thank you so much. It was so fun doing a swap with you. I like connecting with other podcasters that I haven't connected with yet. So that was fun. Oh my, I'm looking at these and I should know who they're from and I don't, and I cannot blame Ruby. But look at these, they're so pretty. Actually, I think these might have fell out of my Benny bag, but still I need to know who these are from because the card isn't in them. Who are you? Who gave me these? Beautiful. And I love these bags, they're so pretty. Where do you get these? I like this. Please tell me who you are. Okay, now we're down to the final one. Mina. This is my swap package from Mina. Okay, so in her little questionnaire that you guys we did for this expat swap, there was a question there that said something like, is there anything else you'd like your partner to know of, some things that you like or things you'd like to see in your package? And I jokingly replied that I would like half of her socks from her January sockathon and either Hugo or Derek, which is her cats, Hugo and Derek. Just pick one and send them in the mail to me. And of course I'm joking. And what does she do? She sends me a pair of socks, but she did send me this. She's like, unfortunately, I couldn't convince the boys to sit in the box long enough for me to package them up for you. So I hope this photo of them will suffice. Plus, I would miss them too much. And they got little paws on the back. That's so cute. I love it. They're so cute. They always make me giggle. The expression on their face and the little folded ears. I love them. Thank you, Mina. And then I've seen this somewhere else. Someone had this kitten unicorn, rainbow unicorn. I mean, that's just great. I love that. I also have from her, there's lots of things in here I'm not going to go through, but I want to show this Dubai Knits Luna. This was from Dubai and fingering weight yarn, 100% superwash merino in flamenco. I got yarn from Dubai. She says, I think she said there was a yarn store and the lady knits or dyes her own yarn. And it's to go with this flamingo bag. How fun is that? I have a Mina Makes bag. I have two actually. So there's this along with this because Mina's lives in Bahrain, but she's from England. Or she lives in England. She did live in England. I knit or dye pool party, 100% superwash BFL. This is from the UK. I love these colors. And this is one of her drawstring bags. I like drawstrings bags, and I have not, the one I used to use doesn't work anymore. So this is perfect timing. Love this, Mina. These are great. And then of course there's candies, and I just got them today, so they're not all gone, but they'll be gone shortly. So that is, I believe that's it. I believe that is all my acquisitions, stash, mail, everything. Yeah, I am gonna wrap this up. So thank you for joining me. I'm glad that we got to spend some time together. I will probably continue with the every other week podcast. Once in a while I may do once a week, but every other week is my commitment, and that's what I'm going to do. I usually try to shoot for having them done on the weekends. Editing can take some time, so we'll see what happens here. I'm hoping to get it posted by tomorrow, Sunday, because I like to keep within the weekend. It might extend out to Monday, but we'll see. That is what I shoot for, is every other week and to have it done on the weekend. A little different with Amy being here. We did that on a Monday, and I got it posted in the middle of the week, something a little bit strange. Off and on, that's going to happen, but I get to spend time with you guys. I look forward to it, and I can't wait to see you guys again and share what I'm making and creating, and I cannot wait to see what you guys are making and creating. So pop into Ravelry, Instagram, find me, show me some pictures, share some things with me, and until next time, bye.